We've got our first message coming in already. Says, good evening, sisters. I'm Nana Kwesi, a level 300 student in one of the private universities in Accra. I live with my elder brother and his wife. Now, my brother is my only surviving relative and has been taking care of me since secondary school days, and we are really, really close. My brother has been married for a little over 8 months, and he seems very happy. The issue now is his wife has been making advances towards me for the past 3 months. I am really uncomfortable and I don't know what to do. There was a time I came out of the bathroom naked and she was sitting on my bed in just her underwear, begging me to make love to her. I was astounded and short of words. I quickly grabbed my towel, pushed her out of the room, and she also sends me her nudes. She's been pleading with me to have sex with her just one time. When I asked her why she's doing that, she says she's sexually attracted to me. I confided in my best friend, and he says I should speak to my brother about it. Now, my issue is I don't want to be the cause of any breakup or divorce. I even threatened to report her to my brother, but she called my bluff. My brother knows me very well and knows I won't fabricate such a story. I'm also thinking of how heartbroken he will be because he's deeply in love with her. How do I go about this issue? Yeah, this is Joseph and Potiphar.
Charlie, clear case.
Where do you?
This is, oh my God.
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Okay, so first and foremost, you should not have sex with this woman at all. And honestly, I can appreciate that your brother is the one who's been taking care of you, you know, his family and all of that, but he's married. If I were you and if there was a way I could actually move out of the house so that your brother would have time to just go through the ups and downs with his wife. And this wife, I really don't know what your brother is doing with this woman. But then again, that's love for you. You can't be the reason why your brother ends up divorcing this woman, because for me, the reason that she even gives is so lame. She's just sexually attracted to you. So you go have sex with her, and then what? You're gonna 5 minutes of pleasure for what? 55 years of pain back? Nah. Do you know? I actually know. You know me. I always know. I know of a guy, right, who got home one day. He used to live with his little brother. He got home one day and he went to his brother's room, and then he saw his brother's boxer shorts with his wife's panties on the floor. Oh, and that was it. Wow. He just sacked his brother out of the house. That was it. To date, he doesn't talk to his brother.
Of course.
And that's not something you want to be doing. That's an unnecessary stress to deal with. And I actually also do know about a story whereby there was this guy who was living with his brother. Once he got married, he was like, you know, my guy, I love you. You're my brother, but Charlie, the day I said I do, Charlie, you for come out, you for go. Because, people always say, but you know, be firewood. And this girl is just admiring you 24/7. She's like, all she wants to do is have sex with you. So what if you have sex with her and yours too is nicer? What if you have sex with her and your thing is also bigger than her husband's? And she's like, she wants more. What are you gonna do? That's temptation. You see, temptation comes our way every single time. But what we do or how we react to temptation is what is most important. This is it. Find a way to get out of the house. Tell your brother that you would love to give you'd like to give him and his wife some space in order to grow their marriage. And for now, you're not really comfortable about being in the house. He's gonna ask you, oh, why? Just tell him that no, you just want to be out of the house and you like his support. That is, if your brother actually financially supports you, just tell him that.
Remember, exactly. He's in university.
Exactly, you're in university. Tell him that, oh, you want some small rent so that you can, sort of patch out. Don't give him the details. Let things unfold. And should your brother end up finding out that he married a Jezebel, then at least you can come out and say that you didn't want to be the reason why, I think. But as much as possible, just stay out of it. Get out of there. And
what if he really doesn't have a choice? Because it's clear he's a student, his brother's one who's been taking care of him, and maybe currently does not have the money to give him and say, go.
He should lock himself. He should lock himself in the room. He should avoid the woman if he can. He should save money and move out. He should save money. He definitely has to move out. He can't be in the house. That's like temptation waiting. And he's got, you have nudes of it. Like, what if your brother picked your phone and saw the nudes? There's nothing you can say to convince your brother that you had nothing to do with it. And what if your brother walked in and walked into the room and saw his wife sitting on the bed naked with only panties on? How are you going to justify that? Like, what are you going to say? Like, that's mad.
Right.
She's going to create temptation upon temptations, and don't put yourself in a situation where, like, you can't take yourself out of it. Get out.
All right, true.
That's the exact reason why I would say tell your brother immediately.
Oh, hello.
Oh.
It's a different perspective.
Yes, because you see, like we said, she's a Jezebel. She's a witch.
Yeah.
She's come to break up two brothers.
Thank you.
That's what she's coming to do. Blood is blood. Okay? Your brother has looked after you for this long. He just got married to this witch. You have her nudes. If you can get more evidence, I say tell your brother. Tell your brother, because it would be unfortunate for him to find out. Even if he doesn't find out about you, even if he moves out and he finds out who he married, and then you later come and say, oh, but I knew. How's he going to feel? You know, like when you knew all this while and you didn't let me know, like you let me stay married to a witch. Do you get what I mean? I would say, honestly, step up to your brother and say, look, I'm not trying to start any trouble. But especially when she called his bluff.
Right.
She called your bluff because she thought you wouldn't say it.
Right.
Well, beat her to her game. Tell. You have her nudes. If you can get more evidence, I say, look, bro, Charlie, I'm not trying to start trouble. Really, I've thought of leaving this house. But you're my brother. You've been good to me and all of that and all of that. Here is evidence. Do with it as you will.
Put a leash on your cat.
That's it.
But what if she denies it? You know,
but that's what I mean by that's what I mean by get more evidence. And today, Charlie, recordings are easy to come by.
Yeah.
You know,
He could even encourage her just to get...
Exactly. Encourage her. Record her. Do a video recording. Do an audio recording. Keep all the text messages. Keep all the nudes. Gather a docket. And sit your brother down. If possible, sit your brother and your mother or whoever it is, another family member down and say, look, Charlie, this thing over me. It's been going on for this long. I can't deal anymore. And I don't want trouble. Because if you find out and I didn't tell you, I'm effed.
Yeah.
So here. Do with it what you will.
Okay. Let me bring in Demi, because she says don't tell. She says tell. Maybe Demi, you can break this tie for us. What do you think?
Hi. So I would say to this poor dude, vamoose, skedaddle, leave, flee, abscond, run for the hills. I don't know what else what other synonym or adjective or phrase there is for running away, but certainly you need to leave the house at all costs. We remember, we had stated that the example in the Bible with Joseph and Potiphar's wife, it's the same thing. There's nothing new under the sun, literally. And looking at the numbers, he says they've been married for 8 months, and this began 3 months ago. So really, just in 5 months, she's been able to do this and claims to have these feelings. This vile woman. So certainly, leave, stay with somebody. Perched by your classmates or your course mates home on their bed in their dorm, whatever. Just be away. And then, like Sandra saying, you should have at least 3 months of evidence. You should have the text messages. You should have all of those things, the pictures and all that. And you can present this to your brother. And this, you cannot judge how he should take it, because it's an awful, awful situation all around. But at least you would have done your part. You would have presented it to him. And certainly do not be tempted. Don't be in any doubt as to what to do and all of that. No. Leave, take your flight, take your leave, go away, and then present all the evidence that you have to your brother and tell him, listen, this is what has been going on. This is why I left abruptly. and explain all things to him. I know you're sad that you'll have to hurt your brother, but you are not the one to blame for this. It is clearly her actions, unless you had some part to do with it and you're only writing one side of the story. But if that is not the case, then please leave. And if your hands are clean, your heart is clean, eventually you and your brother will certainly reconcile. You also told your best friend, who can at least attest to the fact that you confided in him and this was really happening to you, and will provide further evidence to your brother about the sort of woman he married. And whatever happens in that relationship, maybe we'll wait another time. The brother will write in and tell us the story, and then we'll then decipher it and judge it and get into it at that time. But for now, 1, leave. 2, find time to tell your brother, hopefully in a neutral environment, and then let him know. You will break his heart. Like you said, he is in love with her, but these are completely 100% her actions, and she has to bear the consequence.
Demi. So Demi's just combined what you both said. All right, cool. I mean, I'm asking myself what I would have done. I probably would not tell. No, because I wouldn't want to hurt my sibling.
Yeah.
But I'm all for the idea of like gathering evidence, because that tells a better story than I could ever. You feel me? So yeah, I get you on that. You did mention something about perhaps getting in a third party.
The parent.
A parent. You know, I don't know what you ladies think about that. Like getting someone to join that conversation, or even maybe presenting the evidence to this third party and letting them know. And this is obviously has to be a family member.
A family member
of sorts.
Okay. So the reason. Okay. So first of all, in response to you not wanting to hurt your brother, which is why you wouldn't tell. Like I said, if he finds out later that you knew, it's actually more painful.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's actually more painful to know that the person I loved and cared about
Knew
didn't
this.
have my.
Yeah.
In fact, it'll feel like you didn't have my back. You didn't have his back from the get-go.
Feel you.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my position on that.
Yeah.
The reason I feel like you need a parent on there is, or an older person, an older family member, is that person brings to the table experience and can temper tempest, so to speak. This is not a conversation. Especially he's the younger brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't step up to your older brother and
go
Charlie,
like,
this is heavy.
It's heavy.
Go
This
like,
is
yo,
heavy.
check my WhatsApp.
Yo, check this. Do you get what I mean? It's heavy. You need, as they say in Ghana, somebody who's exactly, to be in that conversation to temper tempers, so to speak. So that's why I think you need that.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. Let's bring in a couple of comments. Sayram says, if you're close to your brother, tell him about it. That's definitely not a good wife. She is bound to break your brother's heart. Anyway, even if you don't, relationship na big wahala, God help us. Victor says, you need to handle this issue with care. If not, you'll end up causing more harm than good. Problems that her actions will create for you, herself, and your brother. And she's dared him, you know. Kafui says, move out fast, regardless of how much your brother trusts you. Marriage is a different demon. She will ruin you guys for life. Do it for yourself and your brother. Let her find another candidate for her foolishness. Edward says, my brother, this lady will get you into trouble. She called your bluff because she can scream one day and tell your brother that you wanted to rape her. Best thing is to ask your brother to get a place for you since you're growing and want your privacy. Don't tell him until you have moved out. Benedicta says, tell your brother before children start to come in. She's not ready to be a good wife. Gather more evidence. You can even record your conversations with her.
I mean, it's only been 8 months.
Yeah.
I don't think she really liked him.
No,
I don't think so.
Other reasons.
It's only 8 months.
Nah.
Crazy.
Desire says, you don't need to waste much time with this. The more you delay, your brother finds out, he might think you're actually the one making advances. It's better he gets brokenhearted knowing the kind of woman he married than keeping such a woman as a wife with such behavior. Carla says, move out with an excuse, because telling your brother will break up the marriage. In addition, traumatize him. Let him find out if the lady should go after other men, for instance, but don't be the cause. And G finally says, gather enough evidence, tell your brother before it's too late. She's just the devil trying to separate you two. If your brother decides to divorce her, that shouldn't be your worry. He will be just fine with time. Tell him now or never. Those are a couple of your comments. Your comments are also welcome on 054-998-6996. Let's hear your thoughts on our first story. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, there's more.